Hey, how's it going? You've probably heard already, but Chelsea just broke the British transfer record, paying for ENZO Fernandez's release clause of 120 million euros. He just made his debut this weekend. It's a very big deal. They broke the record on a midfielder who is Argentine, no less. Now, Argentines and British people have a very special relationship, shall we say? But that's a topic for another video. Today we're talking about ENZO, or as some in his homeland call him,
Jugador joven para Sexo Fernández.
So, ENZO comes from a city just outside of Buenos Aires called San Martin. He was named ENZO because of the River Plate legend, Enzo Francescoli. River was in his blood, so it was no surprise when he was scouted at just 5 years old. The scout, Pablo Esquivel, made some notes of how Enzo stood out. He played like a leader, giving very precise passes. You could see that he would do well because of the strong character that he possessed. Enzo joined River Plate's academy and eventually made his debut after 13 years there. He went out on loan to FERNANDEZ to get more playing time, a club that is also in the greater Buenos Aires area, for one season in 2020 to 2021. That's where you saw those stats about how 2-3 years ago he's playing in a kind of lower ranking Argentine team, and now he's winning the World Cup, which is kind of, that's not really doing Defensa y Justicia there, but whatever. So following his loan, he came back to River, where he's shown under legendary coach Marcelo Gallardo in 2021. He really came into his own and started to garner a lot of attention for his poise on the ball, progression of play, and passing range in particular. That's not even to mention his defensive capabilities, and he also has a rocket launcher attached to his right leg. He earned his first call-up to the Argentine national team in November 2021. In early 2022, he gave a rapid-fire interview that provided some interesting insights into his future, let's say.
¿Con chances de jugar el Mundial?
Sí.
¿Ganar un Mundial o un Balón de Oro?
Ganar un Mundial.
¿Una Liga Europea en la que te gustaría jugar?
La Premier.
¿Qué haces si te llega una oferta este año?
Me quedo en River.
¿Cuánto crees que vale tu pase?
10 millones.
Following a stellar year with River, he was sold to Benfica for 10 million euros in the summer of 2022. He put in some great performances in the Champions League and the Primera Liga. I mean, everyone should have known bro was him when he beefed with Neymar. Absolutely no fear. This earned him his first appearance for the Argentine national team in September 2022 against Honduras, coming off the bench as a sub just a few months before the World Cup. Just as in the Honduras game, he came off the bench for Leandro Paredes in the loss against Saudi Arabia in the group stage of the World Cup. He played well enough that the following game, he came on as a sub in the 50th minute against Mexico in a win-or-go-home. And when his country needed him most, in a nervy game where they led 1-0, cold as ice, he pulled this shit. He'll go on to play every possible minute after that point in the World Cup, assisting Julian Alvarez against Poland, more on that later, missing a penalty in the shootout against Netherlands, which in all fairness is rare for him, and he would end up playing a critical role in helping Argentina win the World Cup, picking up the Young Player of the Tournament award along the way. Okay, now, here's why you really clicked on the video. His time at River, he became good friends with one of the other academy standouts. They shared time together in the reserves before he broke into the first team a few years before ENZO. He also grew an epic bromance with this guy.
¿El mejor jugador con el que jugaste?
Julián Álvarez.
They're like the South American Royce and Lewandowski. The two are similar in age and both Argentine. They have great link-up play, and their relationship is one that gets a lot of attention in Argentina. And some fan pages legitimately ship them, which is stupid, but I can't lie, it's kind of funny. The tatted-up, aggressive metronome that is Fernandez next to the smaller, quieter, hardworking Alvarez is just a really interesting dynamic to see. Fernandez has a daughter that's 2 years old, and Alvarez just started showing his girlfriend on social media. They're pretty much the most stereotypical polar opposite best friends. And interestingly, their transfers to the Premier League, which happened a little over a year apart, seemed to reinforce their disparate personalities. Alvarez went more low-key for around £20 million straight from South America. He did win the South American Footballer of the Year award, which, he wasn't like an unknown, but still a little more under the radar. Meanwhile, Fernandez lit up the World Cup, won Young Player of the Tournament, and had his release clause triggered on deadline day. 120 million euros. I mean, given how he was playing for Benfica, even without the World Cup, he would have been sold this summer anyways, but that's besides the point. This is one of the more wholesome bromances I've seen in football, but not one that we've heard too much about in the Anglophone media. During the trophy celebrations, you can see Alvarez holding Enzo's daughter. Every time one of them scores, the other was the first one over there to congratulate him. Julian can't even finish celebrating against Poland because Enzo gets him in a headlock within seconds. If that's not true brotherly love, I don't know what is. There was also a flurry of memes from the parade in Buenos Aires because the introverted Alvarez was very, very drunk. And there are some memorable moments that he shared with Enzo on camera. I wonder what Julian thinks about Enzo's move. It will be interesting to see City and Chelsea play in May, how they'll match up against each other for the first time in the Prem. If there'll be any tension, one of these moments, who knows? Anyways, thanks for watching. I hope this was interesting to you, and I hope you learned something. Until next time,